What's up, guys? Adam Grover, Grover Boys Racing. Got another video for you guys. My buddy Matt Verdi.
Hey guys.
R&M Automotive. We got this beautiful Grand Marquis. Got a nice little sofa in there, you know. Oops. That's right. Car sounds really good.
Don't let all the shininess get to you.
Alright, so what's done to it?
Not much. It's got P heads on it. Just let me shut it down real quick so I'm not yelling. It's got the motor that was in my son's Mustang that he was racing at the track. So it's got headers on it. It's got P heads on it, and I believe the cam is stock, but I've never really cracked the motor open to know. It's got a dual plane intake and a carb that's been sitting around for about 10 years. It runs really darn good. It's got a C6 built by John Viteo Racing Transmissions. It's pretty stock. It's got like a shift kit and some small stuff in it, and I had a really loose converter in it. We took that out and put a Circle D like 32 to 3400 stall in it. It's got stock gearing, which I believe is 327s, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't cracked the rear cover off of it yet. And that's pretty much it.
What exhaust is on it? What mufflers and stuff?
It's got Pipes Race Pro mufflers on it, and we made the exhaust at the shop.
Got
So,
X-pipe or something on it?
No X-pipe.
No?
We just ran duals all the way back.
Oh, wow.
Old school.
Sounds good.
I love the way it sounds.
Yeah, this thing sounds really good.
It's definitely sleeper. I mean, we don't know how much the car weighs. We never weighed it, but the door tag says a little over 53. So it's probably like 4,300 pounds. So
Right.
for being that heavy, this thing, it's not fast, but
Yeah, it runs
rolls
decent.
out pretty good.
Yeah, it's respectable. It's what a 4,300 pound car with a 302 in it,
Yeah.
you know, would
Stick
run.
this in a Mustang and run.
Yeah.
It would run its rear off.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely probably be in the 12s in a Mustang.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe better than that with a little bit.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks
Right.
that we got.
Especially if it's put a stick in behind it.
Yeah.
It's a little
The
too
C6
heavy for the
probably
stick.
robs
Yeah,
power.
C6 does rob power because they're big.
Yeah, but I wanted longevity and reliability out of
Right.
it, so that's why we did it like that.
It's the comfy cruiser, so you know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta chill.
We gotta go for a ride.
All right.
You'll love this thing.
All right, we're gonna get in this thing, go for a ride.
There we go.
Ooh, the power locks work and everything. Check
Yep.
that out. Got the dome light. Window go now?
It does. You gotta help it a little bit.
All right. Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. It'll try to come back up on its own. No, just stay down.
There we go.
I gotta get to that. That's something I have not gotten to yet. Feel that boat feeling?
Oh, I feel it.
The old sway.
This thing is comfortable.
Oh, that's the best part about the car.
Got a little hood ornament on there too.
Gotta have that on these old big cars. I can't believe I'm saying old. It's only an 89, but that's old now.
It is old now. I think they ran this body for a while though, didn't they? 92 or something?
They did. I forget what year they ended it, but this was popular.
Quiet too.
It is. Inside the
Like
car,
inside,
it's really
yeah.
quiet.
Like outside, you can hear it. Like when I was following you the one day, I could hear the car. Like it's not loud, but it's got tone, you know. Where in the car, it's like you wouldn't expect it to be that quiet.
And it doesn't. With the other converter, remember how it was always on the converter?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah.
It's not as loose as it was.
The neighbors probably don't want to kill me now.
It's no louder than a new truck or something, you know.
Before it sounded like I was on it, even when I wasn't. So.
Yeah.
We'll roll into it a little bit here.
gets
Not
moving.
terrible. Oh man, I gotta do something with this hair. Can't see nothing. Woo.
For a big car, it feels decent, you know what I mean? Like, it has a good feel to it.
Yeah. Where do you want to go? Back in or go up to the circle and back?
I can go to the circle.
It has no real top end pull, but
Oh, it's 302.
Yeah.
You never do. So, even on a Mustang, they don't, you know?
I'm impressed with it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a basic little setup.
Get that blower on it, it'll feel really good with that blower probably. I say really good, nobody with a blower, but
Probably.
13 and something like this was unheard of back in '89.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't back then, it's something like this rolling up, they don't expect stuff like this. Nowadays, it's like, oh, the sleeper bull crap.
Can you imagine being an '89 Trans Am or something back then getting cracked by this thing?
My dad did it with his wagon. He had the station wagon.
Really?
He ran a Corvette. It was a new Corvette at the time in the 90s. And
The guy went home and committed suicide.
my dad was next to him the whole time.
Oh my
I think they were racing down the highway or something. And I'll have to ask him about it.
The
But
guy probably drove that thing right to the dealership. I was like, nope.
yeah, wood grain and everything down the side of that wagon. It was ugly. That thing was so ugly. It surprised people though. But back then, 15s was quick, you know. That's all your Mustangs went, you know, brand new.
This thing feels like it wants to flip over when you're coming around.
Yeah.
Like this.
I can feel the body roll.
Yeah, the other day I'm coming home from work and Frankie's like, do a burnout, do a burnout, do a burnout, do it every 5 seconds. I'm like, oh my goodness, child. How many tires left by the time I'm done?
Yeah, right.
So I come off the circle here and I'm like, crack into it a little bit for you. I'm gonna do it right now. Did one of those numbers right past the trooper. I cannot believe he did not pull out. He's probably like, sorry old man.
I'm gonna let that guy live his best life. In an 89 Grand Marquis.
Because I didn't want to do that paperwork. It runs pretty cool though. Like, that's one fan right now. It does get over, like in the heat, it'll get over 180. But I kick the second fan on and it drops right back down.
Yeah.
I can put the fan on like controllers and I can put fuel injection on this thing. I love this thing like super basic.
Yeah, it's nice.
Pretty sure I can fix this thing on the side of the road with a screwdriver and a hammer if I wanted to.
Yeah, and like a half-inch wrench.
Yep. Speedo's off. We are definitely not going anywhere near that fast. I gotta get the gear put in it, in the trans.
Oh, okay.
Or on the cable rather, but it's about 10 mile an hour off. And no, we are not empty. I gotta fix the gas gauge and read backwards. I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
But even cruising, like we're 2,600 RPM, like
Yeah, it has very nice manners.
Yeah. Can you tell why I like to drive the seats though?
Yeah, this thing is nice.
I like the vert, but to me, this is where it's at.
Yeah. Is that manual valve body?
It has the governor on the back of the trans. It's stuck.
Oh, okay.
It's reused. You know what I mean?
Right.
I asked to keep it like as cheap
As possible.
as possible. So it's me. But I don't mind shifting it manually because it shifts out really early anyway.
Right.
But like, let's see. If I stop, it usually wants to stay in second gear. Yeah, feel it?
Yeah.
It'll hold out to shift 2 to 3, but it won't hold the first
Right.
second shift out at all.
Right.
They get stuck all the time though. It's old, you know, I mean, it's old stuff.
Yeah.
Even though it was going through that part of it wasn't.
Right.
It shifts great though. He builds one hell of a transmission.
Yeah, John always does a good job.
I'm happy. I'll say this on the record. The only guy I've ever seen driving a Mustang in the snow with slicks. You know what time I'm talking about.
I know, there's more than one though. Don't do it at home, guys. Don't be like me.
Oh, it's not like these kids nowadays. Kids nowadays have everything that they want.
Yeah, I know.
That was the only car you had.
Yep.
Those are the only tires you had.
Yep.
When you don't have options, you do what you gotta do.
Yep.
We've come a long way from those days.
Yeah, see, he's not fooling me. He's not going to get over on me with this nitrous switch he's got right here.
You know, so you want to know why I left this in here?
Why?
I put the shifter in, and my son was really upset because he liked the old school column shift.
Yeah, column shifter. I got to put my window
up.
up.
Yeah. And so I said I'll keep the column shifter in it, but I want my floor shift because you know it's a pain shifting on
they suck.
column like that.
The Fairmont's not too bad with it, but I still, like, if I wasn't going stick, I'd put a shifter in it, you know?
What do you think?
I don't know, I think I might be in some trouble. It runs good. It's definitely, I see why you like it so much.
I don't care how.
If that had AC in it, oh my goodness.
You know, it will. It will. It's not there just to be in there. The belt alignment was off, so I took it off for now, and it's going on. Steam, I'll show you real quick. So, problem is, some of this stuff is Grand Marquis, some of it's crap that was laying around the shop.
Well, you made all the accessory brackets and stuff.
A lot of them, like
or
this.
made them fit at least.
All of this was Steve and his crazy mind working to make like stiffeners and reinforcements and stuff for this. But if you look at it from the side, you can see it's pitched off, so it's making the belt squeal.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's on like a slight angle.
And if there's nothing else that drives me nuts, I can't take noises.
Belt squeals.
Yep, and that's one of them. That's the worst one.
Yeah, belt squeal's bad.
So for now, we just bypassed it, but it's wired to work. I got to put a wide open throttle switch on to shut it down.
Right.
Under wide open, but that's about it.
Nah, let it run.
Well, now we're putting a blower on it, so this will probably be relocated anyway. I might just spend a couple bucks and do it.
Half of it's going to be coming all apart.
I might just do an accessory drive kit. This is supposed to be like the poor man's budget car.
Yeah.
I only spent money in a couple spots. Most of this stuff was laying around. This right here was your idea, which has worked great, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I actually like that setup.
Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because I really don't want to spend the money for a regulator, but I should have the boost preference regulator when I get the blower on it.
That I'd probably just spend the money on and get the one you need, because
I'm not going to have a choice.
Right.
I don't want to hurt. I mean, it's not anything special, but
yeah, but there's no
so
sense hurting it. It's got good oil pressure and stuff. It's a good little motor, you know.
Yeah.
You can tell by how it runs that it's a nice running engine. The short block is a nice short block.
We don't know what it ran in my kid's Mustang because
he had to do the bracket, right? The 14.
Yeah.
Couldn't go faster than 14.0 or something.
Well, it was 8th mile, so it was 9.0, I believe. And on the first pass, he went 9.0, and he was on the brakes early.
Yeah.
And he can't drive to save his life. He was 13 years old. So, that was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But so I guess what? I always have a hard time equating 8th mile to quarter mile, but 9.0 is like roughly 14 or so, isn't it?
It's 14 something.
So we know obviously it would have gone in the Mustang with you or I driving it.
Yeah, especially that car too, because it looked like it had a little bit of weight out.
Yeah, oh yeah, probably would have gone 1220s or 30s. Or something.
You had the timing and stuff pulled back then, didn't you?
I did. That's what he wrote here, because I had 25 degrees in it, and we're going to dyno it, and we want a fair comparison. So I haven't put it on the dyno yet, I'm scared it's going to spit the drive shaft out of it, but I don't think it will. It's a stock drive shaft that we cut and welded ourselves and put. Oh
yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
So, it doesn't.
I remember Steve talking. Yep, we threw it up on jack stands, hacked it, and welded it on. He goes, "That's how we balanced it."
we were the turntable. Like we're turning as he's welding it. So it had 25 degrees in it. That's why I had Luke write 25 degrees there. I put 35 in it. I have not had it on the dyno yet, but when I do, I'm going to pull it back to 25, see what it would have made,
right,
and then put 35 in it and see where it's at. 35. That carburetor runs phenomenal.
Yeah, it does.
It's I mean, no choke or nothing. It fires right up.
600 or 650?
It's 650. 650. But yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
it's not perfect yet. I mean, some of the wiring is like a little hokey and stuff. I got it together and.
Well, you've been doing other projects too.
Several.
Got the convertible going on. A couple other things.
Yeah.
You know. And then
the
all your
kids and all.
Yeah, all your customers' cars on top of it. It's, you know.
Stuff around the house. Got to keep the wife happy.
Right.
Got to keep the kids happy. But I mean, overall, my goal was this year to have everything running, driving, moving. It didn't have to be perfect. So trying to get them to where I'm happy. But you know, you start driving it and you're like, I got to address this.
Right.
Got to fix that.
Got to fix this. Oh, this is nicer than I anticipated. So now I really got to fix it.
So I'm going along the way, a little here, a little there. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there.
Did you use the original harness with the TFI?
We did. I cut it up.
Okay.
And dissected it and used what I wanted out of it. It's locked out.
Yeah, they lock out.
Yep.
They don't have weights in them to spring open. It's all electronic.
This whole car, it's literally, except for the converter.
It was free, right?
And the trans. The car was free, yeah.
The roller itself was free.
Dave Haynes, Hader Haynes, had this up online for like $400. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and I made a comment on her and I said that would be a cool sleeper, and he goes, it could be yours.
I think I remember seeing that.
And I'm like, man, I got too many projects, and you know, he's like, I will give it to you. So it's hard to turn down something like that, especially because I like these things. I had 2 of them before, and but I'm trying to make excuses in my head. So I go, I don't have a truck or trailer. He goes, I'm going to bring it to you. And Monday, he stopped by and rolled this thing off the back of a trailer.
Yeah, and it sat in the lot for a couple of years,
Years,
right?
yeah.
I remember it sitting back here.
I wanted to do it, but there was other things to do. And
yeah. Well, you didn't know how you wanted to do it either at the time. You're like, I don't know what to do with this thing. I want to build it, but I don't know what to do.
I'll tell you, originally, and I'm glad I didn't do this, because I hate LS swapping Fords, but I was going to put an LS in it.
Yeah.
And I figured LS with a 4L80, it'd be super reliable, get good gas mileage. But I'm glad I went carbureted, 302 C6. Yeah. I would drive this thing, no lie, to California without a second thought.
Yeah.
Without a second thought.
With how good it runs, I don't blame it. It's actually, it's smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had no problems. I've had up to 10 bags of cow manure in the trunk. No lie. That was funny.
He lied. He said he had no problems. He ran out of gas once with it.
Oh, I did. Yeah, the gas gauge reading backwards.
I was just messing with you.
No, you're right. I left the shop and I had 3/4 of a tank full of fuel, or I thought. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was like more like 7/8 of a tank of fuel, like closer to a full tank.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, he even gave me this thing with a full tank full of fuel. Look at that. Figuring it's 5 years old, it'll still run on it. I get it home, and by the time I got home, it was a full tank. So I'm like, oh man, the gas gauge must be off. So I figured I'll just get gas on the way into work. The gas station right down at the circle where we were just at. Me and the kids are driving in, and I come around the circle, and I hear my son say, well, we're not getting gas there. They had all the pumps ripped up that morning.
Yeah.
So, did not make it, needless to say. Did not make it.
You ran right out after the circle, you said, right?
About 2 miles after the circle, yeah.
Which the next gas station isn't far, but it's
too far for that.
Further than 2 miles. It's about 4 miles probably, or 5.
Steve saved my life. Brought me a couple gallons of gasoline. Back on my way.
So how much do you have into it with the motor and the trans, roughly?
John and I traded some work for the trans. So I have a converter and some fuel line.
A lot of it was spare stuff you had laying around, right?
Almost all of it.
The regulator and everything, I think, was.
Yeah. I don't think I have maybe $1,000 in the whole car.
Yeah.
I might even include registration and title and all. This fan right here, this is out of my, I bought it at one point, but this is from my Malibu.
Yeah.
I figure that's not using it right now, so.
Right.
So, technically I've bought stuff, but it's.
Yeah, but it's hard to put a price on when you do it like that, because it's really from another car.
Yeah.
And you had it laying around. But
figure put it in here rather than let it go.
You used it in the other car and you got what you wanted out of it, and now it's in another car, so it's like. It's hard to put a gauge on that when you're doing a budget build, The
car that the motor came out of, I bought 10 years ago for $1,200 or something.
Yeah, and you probably parted the rest of it out, or?
No, I still have the car. I traded it to my buddy's dad for concrete work 10 years ago. He never did the concrete work. They took the car, so I called my buddy and I was like, so Luke raced the car a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was around that time, and I called him and I said, listen, why don't we just forget the deal and I'll take the car back? Because I know my son wanted to race something down at the track, and I'm glad he did now because the track closed.
Yeah.
So he gave me the car back. Well, that car now is worth a lot more than $1,200 as a roller.
Yeah.
In these prices these days and age.
Yeah.
So anyway, he raced the car. It was my car, so my son's got his own deal he's putting together. So I took the car and pulled it apart after he raced it, and I didn't know what I was going to do with the motor, and ended up in here.
And that's the motor that was in the car when you got the car, right?
This one?
Yeah.
Was it was in
the Mustang.
The Mustang, yeah.
That you got.
Yep. Yeah.
Which you got from.
Just like this.
You got from Matt Travis.
Yes, I think that was his name. Yeah.
So, this is actually a motor. I don't know if the intake and stuff's all the same.
I never changed it.
But this is all stuff that I put on at one point.
Oh, that's right. You worked on that car.
Yeah.
You did.
Yep.
You probably know more about this motor than anybody else.
I think I forget what was done to it, but I remember it gave us a fit. I feel like some cars aren't supposed to run for certain people because, they might have trouble with it, or maybe they don't have the experience they need. But that car, it fought us every step of the way, no matter what we tried to do with it. I think... Oh, wait. That's Alex's old motor.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got an E-cam in it.
Oh, so it does have a cam.
Yeah, it's got an E-cam or F-cam, because this was out of the coupe that Alex had, because he bought that car, and then the motor, it lost oil pressure after we did the carb swap and everything on it. It wouldn't read oil pressure. The car would have 20 pounds, and then it would just fall to 0.
Okay.
Shut the car off, turn it back on, it would repeat. You get on it.
Not this motor, right?
No, no. So we got this motor off of Alex, because Alex was like, yeah, I'm just getting rid of the car, I'm going to part it out or whatever. So this motor came from Richie Sweet.
Okay.
It was in that car. It was in the gray. It was like a primer black gray Mustang coupe that Alex had for a while. And the car ran with the fuel injection on it. I think it went 13s or a low 13. But Alex was having... He wasn't Alex. It was before he got better with the stick and everything. He went a 1340 or something. or 1320 or something on motor, and when he sprayed it, he went like the same time. That's how.
I got you.
Yeah. So like, but that was with like a nozzle in it and stuff. But yeah, it had, if they're the same heads and everything, then yeah, they're GT40Ps, I think they were, with the E-cam, and then we put this intake on it, and I don't know if the carburetor's the same one that was on it.
It is.
Then yeah, it's just a 650.
So literally this stuff's been untouched for what? How long? Besides for a little tweak here, a little tweak there, probably over 10 years.
About 10 years, 9 to 10 years, yeah. Because that was, I had my white Mustang, so 2014, 2015.
For anybody that says a carburetor can't be reliable, that has not been rebuilt in at least 10 years. And it sat in the shop with a towel over top of it for who knows, at least probably a year before I decided to put it in his car.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, same exact. I took it out of there and we put it in here. We didn't do nothing to it. So
that's actually metallic black on that. If you didn't paint it, the motor.
Okay.
It had like it has like a metallic.
Now it's probably metallic black with a little bit of oil.
It's probably flat metallic black, but
a little oil sludge here and there.
But yeah, we like spray bombed it to put it into the car.
Does it have rockers or stock rockers and all?
Honestly, I can't even tell you. I think the rockers were stock.
I never pulled the valve covers off or anything. It ran good in that car, so I said, screw it.
Yeah, I think I had an E-cam or something in it, and I'm pretty sure it was the E.
You know how it is with carburetors. Sometimes they sound like they're canned, and sometimes they don't sound like they are. And
I just put it together that's the same motor. That's crazy. Small world.
Yeah, I like the way the fabricated valve covers look.
Yeah.
Because it gives it a little bit of questionable, like it's
right.
Like, maybe not.
Got a little something, you know.
But we did, yeah. I forgot too. We did all the brakes in this car. Forgot about that. Because they were locked up. Yeah, we drug it into the shop. So we replaced the brake lines from front to back, except for this one line. This is the only one that wasn't replaced. The one on the right. Everything else has been replaced. We used all copper line and stuff. I mean, nobody cares about that stuff, but
yeah,
that's important. You know.
To stop
in case it's dying.
Yeah. Well, there it is, guys.
It's gonna get smoked.
Yeah, you mean smoke me?
I'll tell you, I'm gonna catch you early because once you get that Fairmont.
The other day it lost 60 foot on me, so I got to figure that out. But it didn't leave. I made a pass with no fan on it.
I know you. That thing will.
I got to figure something out.
It'll be there. It'll get there.
We did a little stuff to the Fairmont, but I got to do a video on it for you guys. So that's going to be coming up in the future. But awesome. Came over to Matt's. Figured, why not make a video on this thing, and he wanted to take me for a ride in it anyway, so there it is, guys. You guys got to see the Grand Marquis, and you got to meet Matt.
Now message me, guys, if you think I should put nitrous on it without Adam knowing. I think it would be good. I think it's faster, but I don't think it'll be faster for long.
Well, we know it is faster, but it's I got stuff that I'm doing.
We can tell them what it runs. I don't care.
Yeah, when
we did it on a draggy.
1480 or something.
1487 at 94.
Yeah.
And you're like 1550, right?
1555 is my best so far. Yeah.
I mean, technically, this thing should
kill me.
Should kill you. Yeah.
I'll probably jump out on you if I leave on you hard enough. I might be able to pull out the win, but I don't know. He's a pretty good street racer, guys. So.
Used to be. I don't know. I'm rusty.
It's been a while for both of us. So.
It has.
I think you were out a little bit more recent. Well, I had the Blazer, but I didn't do too much with it on the street. But
the Malibu's been down for
3 years, I guess.
Has it been that long?
Had to have been, because I had the Blazer 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness, that sucks.
Time flies. Yep.
Time flies.
Well, there it is, guys. The Grand Marquis.
Hope you all enjoyed it.
So, stay tuned for the next episode. Next time you'll see hopefully both cars next to each other going down the road, and Probably be the world's longest video.
One of us getting cracked.
Yeah.
One of us getting cracked, and somebody's gonna be eating pretzels on the sidelines watching this go through.
We're going to set a record for the world's longest drag race between two luxury vehicles. You know how you got the micro records these days?
I will say this. Both of these cars, in their heyday, will crack anything.
Back then, yeah, back then, they ran decent for what they are.
And both of these cars, besides for the Circle D converter, but you could find a converter.
Yeah.
Besides for that, both your car and this car, all those parts were readily available in their
Back
time.
then,
Yep.
yeah. Like everything that's on the cars are pretty much could have had back in the 80s and 90s. And like I said, back then 15s was not fast, but it was
moving good though.
On the street, it was good enough to take down a faster car.
I remember a small block Chevy Impala. It was in '96, so what's that? The LT1 with a blower on it. It used to black with like electric. What did it have down the side of it? Like lightning or something down the side of it. Car looked really good, and that car ran 13. What? I don't remember. 1340s, 1350s with a blower.
Yeah, so
I mean,
put nitrous on something like this, and you're right there.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But
so
that pretty much sums it up, guys. So next video, you'll see them rolling next to each other and having some fun. So there's Matt, R&M Automotive. He does a lot of custom cars and stuff. So if you need something done, you can contact him. You can look him up, Google, Facebook. He's got a Facebook page and all. Has his number. If you need something done, you're in New Jersey or Philly, PA, Delaware, people come all over for him to have stuff done to their cars. So he does really, as you can see, nice work stuff.
Oh,
this one's thrown together. So imagine something, you know, he does classic cars and everything. You name it, he does it. Hot rods. I've seen a ton of cool stuff in his shop. So
don't worry, your gas gauges won't read backwards.
But yeah, so you can hit him up if you need something done. He does it all. Fabrication, you name it, it can get done at his shop. So tuning, fabrication, all that good fun stuff. He can get it done for you. All right. So stay tuned for the next episode of this, and get to see how slow we can go. You guys have a good one, and see you on the next one.